In the JFT online Marugoto Japanese language courses, we focus on listening and speaking. To improve your oral communication in Japanese, as a part of listening and speaking activities, we use a practice technique called shadowing. So, what is shadowing? It is where you listen to the audio and say the sentence immediately after you start hearing the words, instead of waiting until the end of the sentence. You become a shadow, and your words should follow right behind the words in the audio. Before we try shadowing, let's try choral repetition, which you may be more familiar with.
はじめまして、キムです。どうぞよろしく。
はじめまして、キムです。どうぞよろしく。
カーラです。はじめまして。どうぞよろしく。
カーラです。はじめまして。どうぞよろしく。
In choral repetition, you normally start repeating after the audio is done or your teacher says the whole word or sentence. Now, we'll try shadowing.
はじめ
はじめ
まして、
まして、
キムです。
キムです。
どうぞ
どうぞよ
よろしく。
ろしく。
カーラで
カー
す。
ラです。
はじめま
はじめ
して。
まして。
どうぞよ
どうぞよ
ろしく。
ろしく。
Don't wait until the end of the whole sentence. Start saying it immediately or 0.5 seconds later after you first hear the words. Let's try it again.
はじめ
はじめ
まして、
まして。
キムです。
キムです。
どうぞ
どうぞよ
よろしく。
ろしく。
カーラ
カ
です。
ーラです。
はじめま
はじめ
して。
まして。
どうぞよ
どうぞ
ろしく。
よろしく。
It is not always easy at the beginning, but as you practice throughout the term, you will notice how shadowing improves your speaking. So, how does shadowing help when learning a foreign language? Studies have shown that you can improve your listening and speaking ability, improve your pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation, improve your overall comprehension, and finally improve your memory. Research shows that the speech you hear is temporarily stored in your short-term memory as sound, only for 1 to 2 seconds. If you don't do anything with the sound you just heard, that sound will disappear from your memory. However, if you keep repeating it in your mind, then it is possible to send that information to your long-term memory where it becomes knowledge. When the sound is stored longer, then you have more time to understand what it means. So if you use shadowing over and over, you can start to understand the sound unconsciously, and it becomes easier to create a strong connection between sound and meaning. That is how shadowing helps you start speaking naturally without having to take the time to think or remember what you have learned. Shadowing is often used by interpreters and advanced language learners, but anyone can practice using shadowing, even complete beginners. While shadowing can be difficult at first, especially when you try to shadow an entire conversation, there are recommended steps to help you master shadowing. First, listening. Listen to the audio without looking at the script and try to roughly grasp the content and the style of the speech. Next, mumbling. Shadow the dialogue without the script and focus on the sound you hear rather than trying to clearly reproduce the pronunciation. Synchronized reading. Shadow while looking at the script. The focus is on understanding the content. From this point, the steps start to get a bit more challenging. Prosody shadowing. Shadow while focusing on the pronunciation, intonation, rhythm, speed, where to pause, and etc. This is a very important step when it comes to improving your speaking skill. Next, synchronize reading again, but this time, focus on the parts you find difficult in the script. Last, content shadowing. Do not read the script. Listen and shadow while focusing on the content. In our courses, we mostly focus on the first 4 steps. As you train the muscles in your mouth, you will get used to speaking Japanese. The aim is to improve your pronunciation and intonation. If you keep working at shadowing, before you know it, you will start speaking some words or phrases in Japanese as easily and naturally as your native language. During the course, listen to your teacher carefully to see what they are instructing you to do. Listening, mumbling, reading the script with the audio, or shadowing, focusing on the pronunciation, intonation, rhythm, and pauses. Your teacher may also ask you to do shadowing in your head, so follow their instructions and get the best results. Of course, even if your teacher doesn't ask you specifically, please feel free to mumble or shadow whenever you'd like.